Well, good evening. We are back, not per usual. As you can see, we've got an extra voice, we've got an extra face on the screen here um, for this latest episode of the NFL Cymru podcast. Good evening to you all on bonfire night, by the way. Just came back from seeing some fireworks myself, and this is going to be a terrible pun, but there were plenty of fireworks going on in the NFL. Way! So there we are, fantastic. Especially last night. It was obviously the end of the trade deadline at, what was it, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So it was 9 o'clock last night. Everything kicked off with 2 hours to go. And then we were thinking, oh, wow, this is going to be one of the ages. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Major moves are going to happen. And I was kind of waiting for the next move to happen. But however, the last hour or so was kind of a little bit quiet, really. It's almost like, well, the explosion of kind of moves has been done, and we're going to cover those very, very shortly. But anyway, myself, as you probably know, I'm David. Gito is up in North Wales as well, and our special guest returning for his second episode is Christie, the number one Bucks fan in the UK, if not the Western Hemisphere, probably. Christie, thank you so much for coming back. I was trying to say, when was the last time you were on? I was trying to think. It was after the Super Bowl, surely.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
I remember it was before or after the draft.
It was around.
Yeah, just before, wasn't it? But anyway, it's lovely to have you back. Thank you so much again. I'm going to be asking about your recent trip to Tampa, because this is perfect, because we've caught you slap bang in the middle. You've just been a couple of months ago, and then you're going again in December. Is that true?
That is very true. I'm going to see the Saints game at home.
Oh,
I know.
a rivalry game. I need you to win that, by the way, because the Saints and the Dolphins and the Jets are fighting for the number one pick in the NFL draft in 2026. So I'm sure you'll have no problems with that. But yeah, it's been an up and down season for the Bucks. You've still got a really good record despite your injuries. But hold that thought in a second, because firstly, we're going to have to cover some of the big trades that happened yesterday. One team just decided basically there's going to be a mass exodus. No kind of like certain that it's obviously the New York Jets, who actually have won a game in the past couple of weeks. They beat the Bengals in that like major, huge fourth quarter comeback. But anyway, Gito, tell us who's left the Jets, and more importantly, what they got in return, because they've got a massive haul in next season and 2027 draft, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So the players who have left the New York Jets, one of their top stars, Sauce Gardner, has made his way to the Indianapolis Colts. They've also traded Quinnen Williams and Michael Carter II to the Colts and the Dallas Cowboys, respectively. In return, they received quite a few picks, a couple of players as well to point out as well. John Mechie, wide receiver, and Adonai Mitchell and Matty Smith as well. But
Marty
the key
Smith,
the key highlights from this trade is the amount of first round and second round picks they received for the next 2 seasons. They are swimming in first round picks. Just to break down quickly, in 2026, which is next year's draft, they've got 2 first round picks and 2 second round picks. And in 2027, they will start off with 3 first round picks. So they are absolutely swimming. They're in dreamland in terms of the draft for the next 2 seasons. One of the biggest bombshells from last night's trade deadline, which not a whole lot happened until this fireworks just blew out of nowhere. So, absolutely crazy, David.
I don't know about you guys, Christie, like Sauce Gardner, right? They got 2 first-round picks for him. With all due respect, when he came out of college and he won Defensive Player of the Year, fair enough. He's a quality player. I would have never, ever put him down as getting 2 first-round picks for him personally, because he's had he was poor last year, let's be honest. A lot of people are blaming the scheme, and there was all sorts of problems going on. They got rid of Salah halfway through. They fired their GM halfway through as well. And by the end, Jeff Ulbrich took over as the interim head coach. Are you surprised that, like I said, because a lot of people even are saying that the Colts have won this trade? For me, I can't see how the Colts have won this trade. I would never have given 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. But honestly, Christie, it clearly shows that the Colts obviously have got, although they lost, they've got one of the best. I believe they're 7-2, one of the best records in the AFC. They're clearly going all in because obviously they've seeing that the AFC is all over the place at the moment. So they're seeing, right, we're gonna go for it this year because, like I said, things are going all over the place. But I don't know about you. I was really surprised that they managed to get the Jets managed to get 2 first-round picks for him. That's just me personally.
It's probably just the name as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's quite a big name in the NFL, so I don't know. I don't know if he would have been worth those 2 first, to be honest. But I think the Jets need everything they can get.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And then Quinnen Williams obviously was the other one, who is a really, really talented defensive lineman. So he's been shipped to the Cowboys. They got Marzi Smith back. And obviously, like you said, Gito, they got Adonai Mitchell, and they got John Mechie as well from the Eagles and the Colts as well. So yeah, Quinnen Williams, obviously he's a massive. So 2 massive parts there on the defense. I really, really thought that Breece Hall was going to go as well. Their running back. I was waiting for that to happen because I'd heard sources that he was going to be sent to the Chiefs, but clearly that didn't happen. And I don't know if you guys saw what Breece Hall and what some of the Jets players were putting out on social media. They were basically putting like, think ... who's next, basically. So obviously they didn't have a clue, or maybe they had a clue who was going on. Maybe they didn't have. Maybe, like, who knows who was in line for. I mean, a lot of people saying that maybe the wide receiver Garrett Wilson was potentially going to be traded as well, but he's just been. And another thing about Sauce, by the way, he's just signed a massive extension as well. So the Colts have taken on, like you said, Christie, a massive character. And they've taken, he's probably top 3 in terms of salary as well for cornerbacks in the NFL as well. And they had to give up 2 first-round picks. It just blows my mind. That's a lot. That's a big haul for me. But then again, if you're the Colts, like you said, if you're going all in, then you're willing to kind of take the sacrifice, and they think that they only one kind of big kind of like star away from maybe getting there in the AFC. Because the Colts, I don't know about you guys, but the Colts has really, really surprised me this year, especially Daniel Jones. I know it's clearly a good scheme. And I thought that the Dolphins were just that poor when they lost to them in week 1, but clearly we lost to a very, very good team. And like I said, they're 7-2. But yeah, who would have thought? So the other major kind of lesser moves, Gito, was Rashid Shaheed, wide receiver from the New Orleans Saints, another team that's only got 1 win. He's been sent to the Seahawks for I believe, what is it, a 4th and a 5th?
Yeah, a 4th and a 5th round pick, exactly. Rashid Shaheed he's been with the Saints for quite a long time, so they might say he's a bit of a legend of the club. So I spoke to a couple of my friends from New Orleans yesterday. He was going to be a free agent by the end of the season anyway. He only had 1 season left, so they were going to get rid of him regardless, I think. But it is sad to see a top star in a team like that. So, but they're in massive rebuild as well. And like you mentioned, they'll be, nobody wants that number 1 pick, but it's between 3 teams right now. So, be interesting how they get on and where do they start rebuilding. Same with the Jets as well.
Just quickly, Seahawks for me, or dark horses. in the NFC. I know I think we said at the beginning of the season, Gito, that the Rams are definitely a dark horse in the NFC. But now the Seahawks, again, another team that are just slowly going about their business. Sam Darnold is playing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
I think I saw a stat the other day, actually. Through 3 quarters in the last game that they played, he was perfect. I think he was something like 16 for 16 with 4 touchdowns. And I decided this week to bench him in my fantasy league. Of course I did.
Well done. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
looking forward
and
to
I
that game.
picked Drake, and I picked Drake May as well, and he didn't have his best game, but there we are. I digress. So that's another one. Any other notable ones that you kind of want to talk about, Gito or Christie? Any other moves that kind of caught your eye, apart from those 3, really?
Chrissy?
Well, I was kind of oblivious to this happening last night. I wasn't. So I saw, like when recommended tweets get sent to you, I saw something about Source, but I just didn't click on it.
Yeah.
So when you said that, then I was like, oh, maybe I should have gone on my Twitter and had a look at what it said. I was literally oblivious, going about my day.
Well, to be fair, I don't think the Bucks made any moves whatsoever. I don't think they traded anyone, or they didn't even get anyone.
I have their notifications on, so if they did, would have found that bit out.
Yeah. They would have come via you to okay it, and then obviously, yeah.
It would have been for me to approve it, basically.
Of course. Yeah, you're the trigger, so you got the trigger. Fantastic.
My head's big enough, as in
Brilliant. Well, that takes us nicely, actually, over. Let's talk about the Bucks, obviously. For those of you who don't know who Christie is, rather, you gave us a lot about how you got involved into the NFL and how you fell in love with the Bucks, obviously, on your last episode. Go back to watch that episode, actually. We'll probably we'll try and put it in the link description so you can go back to hear Christie's first episode. Since then, Christie, you've still got Baker. You've still got your boy, Mike, although I'm gutted for him, because obviously he was going for the record, wasn't he? And all of a sudden he's been Marvel man in terms of injuries. He's been absolutely incredible, and obviously he's been so unfortunate this year.
No, I know. Well, it was the Jets game that I went to see, the critical game that he originally went off with his hamstring, and I'll never, ever, ever forget the moment I watched him walk off, because I thought, oh my God, what am I witnessing? Because he didn't even take his helmet off. He just came off the field, grabbed his leg, I think he kicked something, and he just walked straight off, and everyone got up and started clapping him, and I just remember saying to Ian, I was like, I could cry. I was like, I've just watched him walk off, and then I was looking on Twitter, and I was thinking, oh my God, I need an update.
Yeah. So he came back a couple of weeks later then, and then he re-aggravated he injured his shoulder, doesn't he? That's what's keeping him out for I think the rest of the regular season. I think he might be back for the playoffs. I don't know.
What I've read is, well, he broke his bone in his collarbone. And the thing is, that game I didn't watch because it was Monday Night Football.
Okay.
It was just a late night game, and I didn't watch it. And I woke up, I looked at my phone, and the recommended tweets were there, and it was praying for Mike, and I thought, what's happened to Mike? I was like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? So I clicked on it, and nothing was telling me what had happened. It was just prayers sent and everything, and I was like, speedy recovery, and I thought, oh my gosh, someone tell me what's happened.
Yeah.
Then I let him go down. But what I read is that it's the end of the year.
Oh, right. So okay, so it's basically he might be back for first round of the playoffs, or it depends if you get a bye, ideal. That would be fantastic. So if he can kind of have another few weeks after that. So okay. So the good thing is it's not season ending then, basically.
No, but it's his record ending.
I know.
He did amazing.
Oh my gosh! I mean, let's be honest. there's going to be an asterisk on the side of this year, isn't it? Because let's be honest, if he would have been healthy, there's no
Oh,
doubt in my mind that he would have got there.
oh no, they would have made sure. I think
Yeah.
they would have
Yeah.
made sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
So in his absence, and myself and Gito on the pod have been raving about this guy. Obviously, you've got a new star wide receiver in the absence of Mike Evans and Chris as well. Godwin has been out as well. So all of a sudden your top two wide receivers are down, and then it's like a phoenix out of the ashes. All comes Emeka Buka, and he's literally the thing that
I
shook me as well was the instant chemistry he had with Baker from week one.
Yeah, no, that's literally what I brought down as well. I just mean he was just like everything that we needed. So when he was out, I think he was out for a couple of games.
Yeah, he was.
He
Yeah,
was missed. He was really missed. He's been absolutely incredible. Like he's already had like rookie of the week a couple of times. I think even rookie of the month. Like he's literally incredible. He's like a godsend.
Yeah.
Everything that we needed.
I think he's one of the front runners for rookie of the year, 100%.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, if he keeps like this. Yeah. And let's be honest, Christie, another thing as well that worth noting as well is how good your QB is playing. Baker at one point was kind of like, he was one of the favourites for MVP, and I know it's early, and I know we've just crossed halfway through the season, but in that stint when the BUCS, I think you won 5 games in a row, you went to Seattle, you won in Seattle as well, some of massive wins, beat San Francisco at home as well. Some of that, well, he's playing the best football that I've ever seen him so far.
No, absolutely. I always regret the Browns fan, unfortunately. And she always goes on about Baker to me now. Why wasn't he like that with us? And I'm like, the Tampa lifestyle, see? Tampa suits him. But no, he's like I think he's just a typical Tampa man now, isn't he? Like that's like his personality. He's where he belongs. He has everyone around him suits him, if you know what I mean. Like his connection with every player. He's just he's everything I would. I think I just love him as a person as well, though. So he is incredible.
Because me and Gito were saying, like, basically since leaving, because I mean after leaving the Browns, after what I think leading the Browns to their first playoff win in God knows, over 20 years, maybe longer. So obviously he fell out of fortune there. They traded for Deshaun Watson. We'll leave it at that. Then he left. He went to Carolina. He got a massive break in LA, and then obviously Tampa took him for a 1-year rental, didn't he? And then, like you said, since then it just shows. Look at what's happening with quarterbacks around the league. Look at what's happened to Sam Darnold. What's his name? Geno Smith. What's happened to Geno Smith? Tip Baker is another one. These quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, they're redefining themselves. It just shows if you're in the right environment, I think you have the chance to show your true potential. Obviously Baker wasn't able to do that in Cleveland, and I think a lot of things were going on front of house and behind closed doors in Cleveland as well. You had a lot of divas going on there, at the time. I think they had OBJ and things like that. But I'm just happy for him because, like I said, he's redefined his career, and I think he's respected now as definitely at the moment he's playing as a top 5 QB, but he's definitely a top 10, consistently top 10 QB for me.
Yeah, no, I obviously agree.
Yeah.
I just think he's not scared either, and that's what I like. I think, like, I always used to when I was watching Brady play, it was like you could tell he wanted to, like, run the ball himself and things. But then because of his age and everything, it was like it was almost held back and whatever. But Baker will just hard. Baker will block. Baker will do a bit of everything. So yeah, he's got some good. He's got some guts. I'll give him a.
Yeah, fair play. He's definitely one, like I said, with so many injuries, especially on the offense. He's the one that's been carrying the load, and like you said, he's not afraid to put his shoulder in, like run for a first down or something like that. Like, yeah, he's definitely he's the type of person that gets fans on board with any single franchise. If he's your franchise QB, you know that that the supporters like yourselves obviously are going to be away on board. So yeah, obviously it's so far so good for the Bucks. I know that you've been, you've had a few close losses, haven't you? And obviously you've been dealing with such a lot of injuries, especially on offense. Overall, Christie, do you think that you are? Do you think that you're expected at the beginning of the season, or do you think that you're overachieving?
I think at the start of the season, I was like, right, this is Super Bowl bound. I was like, yeah, we're going for it. It's amazing. The team's great. Like, Mike is there, still there. Chris was due back, everything like that. Like, obviously, we have Tristan, Peter Vea, still there, and everyone. Like, it was like, we've got a really strong, solid team here. But every win we've had has almost given me half a year.
Yeah.
Like, watching the game, you're just tense, and you just, like, it's always so last minute, which in a way is like iconic in a sense. But I don't know, I feel like we're just like, I said earlier, like, not getting away with it, but it's like, I can't sometimes believe that it then happens that we do win. Because it's always so tight. Or, like, our field goal kicker, Chase, he's my MVP because he almost saves every game. Or he gets us the most points. But I don't know I don't know what our end record would be, like, with all the injuries, because it's just so unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's actually missing, and now missing as well for a bit.
Yeah. I was just going to say, to bring Gito in here, like, Gito, obviously, you'd obviously, as a Falcons fan, you'd probably hope that, let's be honest, the injuries are gonna eventually catch up, like Christie was saying, with the Bucks, because I remember, I think probably the Bucks have had 3 or maybe 4 fourth quarter comebacks, or even last drive where Baker goes down the field and you either score a touchdown or, like you said, win it with a field goal. As a Falcons fan, Gito, take us back to Sunday's game in Foxborough. Oh my goodness me! So I have to put this out there because this is my fault as well. Christie, every week we put out Player of the Week on our socials. And obviously, we had a lot of options this week, and so we had 2 Drakes in the top 5. So we had Drake May as an option for his performance, and we also obviously had Drake London, the Falcons wide receiver, who had 3 touchdowns and had some absolutely incredible throws. So Gito, as he often does, fair play, he asked me, okay, who's your take for Player of the Week? And I said, it's got to be Drake. And obviously, I was very, very unclear. So he took this as Drake May. So I saw this on social. I was like, what are you doing? First of all, you're a Falcons fan. Back your own player. And I swore I said Drake London. So anyway, apologies. My bad. I was very, very... what's the word? I was very... What's the word I'm trying to find? Very unclear. So... even though it's been posted on socials that it's actually Drake May, my MVP of week 9 was definitely Drake London, because his performance up in Foxborough against the Patriots, although it was a narrow loss, Gito, take us through it. He was absolutely balling, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. If we're doing second place, he would have got to be that would have been top two, 100%.
Yeah.
Quite in my head was a bit all over the place after that loss as well. I didn't even bother to ask which Drake are we talking about. But yeah, we could have even at least gone into overtime. We've got rid of our kick, Romano, as well. We've assigned our third kicker of the season already in Zane Gonzalez, who used to be a kicker for the Commanders, I think. So yeah, all the best to him. See what he can do, whatever. But yeah, very disappointing loss from us against the Patriots. The Buccaneers are playing the Patriots this weekend, so I'm very looking forward to that game. We'll get to that in just a little moment, but yeah, just want to put my my point out there for Baker Mayfield as well, just quickly before we move on. If you've got someone like Tom Brady praising you and saying all good things about you, you must be doing something right. And Baker Mayfield, he's at the moment a top 5 in the league, a contender for MVP, absolutely. And Christie, before we move on, I want to go through the remaining. This is what I like to do every week. I like to go through some of the remaining schedule for some of the teams. And I'm just looking at this Buccaneers, and I don't see you losing maybe 1 or 2 games here. Perhaps I'm going to go through it with you quickly and see what you think of it. So we've got the Patriots this weekend. This is coming off a bye, by the way, so it's every week coming. So the Patriots this weekend. You've got the Bills and the Rams. So that's 3 tough games coming up. And then you've got the Cardinals, the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers, Dolphins, and Panthers again. So you've got, I don't see you losing more than 1 or 2 games there, to be honest. But
Yeah, 2 losses for me.
Yeah.
I think the losses would be. Well, I think Patriots is going to be tough, to be honest.
It's a tough game.
Sorry, Christie. So this is going to be at Tampa, though, yeah?
Yes, it's in Raymond James.
This game's in Tampa.
Oh,
so
fine.
we have.
I'd still back the Bucks then if you're at home.
Oh, perfect. That's what I had. But I know it should be a really good game, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I see us losing against the Bills, but I do see us losing against the Bills. And possibly, who's after the Bills?
The Bills have got the Rams. So another tough game there. Another tough game.
Those possibly.
Yeah. I don't see the Falcons. Sorry, carry on. Yeah. I don't see the Falcons doing it. I see the Buccaneers doing a double against us this season. So I think our season's over, to be honest. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But
you
yeah,
did that, yeah,
I don't see the
you did that last year, didn't you? Get that, so you know.
We did, so it's time to return the favour and give it to the Bucks this season. Yeah. They'll probably do the double against everyone, to be honest. They've beaten the Saints. They've got the Panthers twice to come. So I don't see them doing it. I see them doing a double against all of them.
Really good. Yeah, the Panthers are the same record as the Chiefs, which I would never have seen come in.
Oh, do you know what? The Panthers are such a strange football team. I don't understand them at all. Because everything is pointing at Bryce Young being benched once again. However, all of a sudden, like they beat out of the blue, they've beaten the Falcons. What was it, by 30 points 1 week?
Thank you.
Then they get absolutely hammered the next week. So literally, it's all or nothing with the Panthers. So like you said, you never know which team that's going to turn up. However, I think towards the end of the season, I think they're going to fade. So if the Bucks play them towards the end of the season, especially you've got them the last game of the season, I think they're going to be way out to playoff picture then. So I think you should be fine. I don't think you should be too worried about the Panthers. But they're just strange things going on over there. Don't know what's going on.
No. We were. I was hoping that they would be good next season, and we would obviously take that second place. But it looks like at the moment it's going to be the Panthers. So, which is like you said, it just came out of nowhere, really, hasn't it? So. But it's a very strange NFL season in general.
Oh, wide open, especially on the AFC side. I think the NFC have got, to be honest with you, I think the NFC have got better teams than the AFC this year, because you've got Seahawks, Rams, Eagles, Bucks. Those are probably your top 4 in the NFC. And then obviously on the AFC, I mean, bloody hell, take your pick. You've got Colts, Steelers are still so up and down. Bills, obviously, they had two losses in a row, but they've just beaten the Chiefs. The Chiefs are, like you said, they're 5-4 at the moment. I still think, and then you've got the Broncos as well. The Broncos are 7-2 as well, and you've got the Chargers up there. So yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, it's kind of like it's. Don't get me wrong. To a neutral, it's fantastic. It's one of the best open seasons that you've had for a while. So at least you've got that as well. So before we move on to talk about week 10, gosh, it's week 10 already. Absolutely
Week 10
wild.
coming.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Buccaneers are coming off a bye, so you're going to play. You're playing, like I said, back at Raymond James against the Patriots. The Patriots coming off a 3-point win against the Falcons. Unfortunately, the Falcons had a chance, like you said, to tie. Gitter, I hate reminding you, but isn't this the second game this season that you've lost due to your kicker?
Possibly second or third. You lose count in these situations. So, and they seem to be getting the cut after that result. So yeah, like I said, we're on our third kicker now. Forgot the name already. I've just turned the tab off, but whatever. We've got our third kicker, so
Gonzalez,
Gonzalez, yeah. So hopefully he'll do well. We've got an international game coming up against the Colts, who have just signed Sauce Gardner. So whether he'll be fit to play or not, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, very interesting few weeks for the Falcons as well.
Gitter, just quickly, what was your game of the week, week 9?
Ooh, game of the week. I think this might be the game of the season, to be quite honest with you, heading into week 10 so far. The Bengals against the Bears had fireworks all over it, considering it's November the 5th today. There was winners in all drives in this one in the fourth quarter. It could have gone either way. The Bengals came back from a few points down. They scored 15 points in the fourth quarter, but the Chicago Bears scored 16 in the fourth quarter. Chicago Bears ended up winning 47-42, which is it was just an absolutely crazy game. Joe Flacco had one of his best games, but Caleb Williams, he was a contender for Player of the Week as well. So he would have probably been our third best one with the stats, and
both of them, to be fair, well. I mean,
yeah.
I was going to say Flacco threw for just under 500 yards. How can you not? To be fair,
T. Higgins had over 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Colton Loveland for the Bears had 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. So some incredible numbers from both teams. And if you're a neutral, this is what you love about the NFL, watching these two. They're not the two best teams, even though Chicago Bears have a winning record at the moment of 5-3. But yeah, just an incredible drama all around in this one. It was just an unbelievable watch. You couldn't take your eyes off it.
Few things on this. Christie, go for it. Go for it. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that because I had Lamar Jackson as my fantasy quarterback, but he was on my bench because he had been injured and then possibly had a bye, but just him on my bench. And I had Caleb Williams as my backup, and I forgot to bench Caleb Williams and replace for Lamar Jackson, because when I scrolled down, I was like, oh, he got me like 25 points and he was in my bench and whatever. But then when the Bears played, I was like, oh, I'm glad I Caleb Williams now. I had like 30 odd points. I still lost, but I still had him there.
Yeah.
We're not having a good time with our fantasy either, don't worry.
Oh, God, yeah, same. Yeah, on that game, just quickly, like I said, I think the Bengals were, like you said, they were down by over double digits going into the last 5 minutes or so. So that's what happened. So they scored a touchdown. They recovered an onside kick. That's only the second time that's been done this season. And they scored another touchdown as well, and a 2-point conversion to tie. To take the lead then with a minute to go, and then Colston Loveland out of the blue, rookie, tight end, caught a pass, bounced off a defender. Don't get me started about the Bengals defense. Gitto knows this very, very well. I'm going to go on a rant about the Bengals defense very shortly. And then he runs it in for 60 yards, and then the Bears win. But like you said, like this is the second time since Flacco has been traded that the Bengals have scored over 40 points and they've still lost both games.
Yeah.
And
They
I'm
lost
not
the
sure
AFC.
if you guys saw the post-game interview with Jamar Chase and Chase Brown, their running back as well. So that's all they blamed the defense and they said, look, we gave you the lead with less than a minute to go. We came back from 14, 16 points down. Like basically they said, that's all you need to do. One stop. Give us one stop. That's all they need to do. And
Yeah.
ultimately they couldn't do that. So like I said, the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've given up 45 points to two separate teams and they've lost. So me and Guitar have been we've been hammering the Bengals lately on. They've been spending all this money on offense on Chase and Higgins. Fantastic, brilliant. Now they've got Flacco. That can throw the ball around, and clearly it's working. However, when you've got this bad of a defense, and they've just they've neglected the defense, and we're going back years since they went to the Super Bowl 4 years ago. It's been absolutely wild. So I personally, I think Zach Taylor, their coach, is going to be really under pressure because they've got what 5 or 6 losses now. So I think they're going to be out of the picture in the AFC because they've got Baltimore and they've got the Steelers, who are well above them to win the division. So yeah, it's an absolute sorry about the language, but it's an absolute shit show over there on defense. What's going on, honestly?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an absolutely crazy game.
I'm surprised quickly that Henderson for the Bengals wasn't considered a trade for some of the teams.
Trey
There were
Hendrickson, yeah.
rumors that Dallas Cowboys was going to go for him, but obviously it wasn't to be. But I think that was one that I had my eye on for the last couple of days, but it wasn't to be. So the Bengals found their way to keep him. Be interested to see what happens with him, because I think he's only signed a 1-year deal before the regular season, or was it?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see where they go.
No, he signed a 1-year deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and with the money that they spent, how much money they can buy in free agency, they'll have to look into the draft, definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean he's clearly going to go in free agency because, let's be honest with you, I think we said he's wasting his talent on that team. He's wasting his talent, unfortunately. If you're a defensive player playing for the Bengals, you're wasting your talent. But anyway, rant over. I'm going to move on. But anyway, can you tell I'm a bitter Dolphins fan? Yeah, maybe. But anyway, now then. So my game of the week, Christie, before we come to you, was the AFC showdown between the Bills and the Chiefs. This was at Highmark Stadium. The Bills have only got a few home games left. It depends what happens in the playoffs, obviously, before they enter the new stadium, the brand new stadium that's literally right next door next season. But anyway, this is what tends to happen year after year. The Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, the Chiefs always defeat the Bills. The Bills haven't been able to get to the Super Bowl since the 90s. So there we are. And they let I was going to say at times I thought the Chiefs were looking really good. The Bills kind of came off the boil in the second half, and ultimately the Chiefs had a Hail Mary on the last play of the game that was almost caught in the end zone that would have gone to overtime as well. So that could have been different, But ultimately the Bills won. They're top of they're not even top of the AFC East because the Patriots are 7-2, which is absolutely wild. It blows my mind. But anyway, so that was another good win for the Bills at home, coming off a bye. I think, by the way, that's their 7th win coming off the bye since Josh Allen was drafted by the Bills, which is absolutely incredible, an amazing stat. But yeah, unfortunately for the Bills, some more injuries on defense. So they are really banged up on defense, but offensively, fair play. They looked really good. Running game, James Cook looked really good. That's what they've been killing some teams over the last couple of weeks. I think the week before James Cook went over 200 yards against the Panthers. So he went over 100 yards against the Chiefs as well. The first time that the Chiefs gave up a 100-yard passer in years, I think. So, yeah, the Bills are doing really well, especially running the ball. Christie, don't worry if you haven't. I know like I said, the Bucks were on a bye. Did you manage to watch any of the games over the weekend?
Well, I was away on the weekend, so I was kind of on a bye as well. But I did, I know, I did chuck Red Zone on, but it was just like quite late, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
But I did see the clips from the Chiefs and Bills game, and now out of those two, I will always want the Bills to win.
Okay.
It's not that I don't like the Chiefs, but I'm just fed up of the Chiefs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But as you
Yeah.
said, like, they do so well beating them in the regular season that they just lose it in the playoffs, and it's so frustrating to see. It's so, like, because I want Josh Allen to do well, because I quite like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I think he's really good. And I want him to do well. I want him to be the reason that they go further on in the playoffs or even get to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I saw his face after they didn't catch it, they didn't get the pass in the Hail Mary, but I was like, oh, that's exactly what I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, to be fair, like we said, the AFC is wide open this year, so it really could be the Bills here. You never know, and that would have been what a perfect ending that would be, moving into a new stadium, finally going to the Super Bowl after what, more than 20 years, since the 90s. So yeah, obviously I'm completely the opposite you, to be honest with you, because my dad has been a Chiefs fan since the 1980s. So the Chiefs really are my second team. I've been, and to be fair, I think I'm trying to hold on. I'm basking in the glory years of Patrick Mahomes at the moment. I just love to watch him play. I think he's an absolute magician, you know.
Yeah.
And so is Josh Allen in a completely different way. As a specimen, he's an absolutely incredible athlete. So is Mahomes as well. So the dueling that's going on at the moment is absolutely brilliant. It's a fantastic era for quarterbacks. But yeah, so yeah, like you said, so it's strange, and I think obviously as a Dolphins fan, having the Bills having won the AFC East 4 years in a row, I think I'm done with the Bills at the moment. So, but that's not going to change anytime soon, because the Dolphins and the Jets are going to be pretty poor for the next couple of seasons anyway. So it's going to be the Bills and the Patriots fighting out. But anyway, cool. Just before we end, let's leave week 9 and let's jump on to week 10 then. Christie, we'll start off with you. Obviously, we just mentioned it before that Bucks are going to be playing against the Patriots in week 10, coming off a bye. At home, obviously, at Raymond James Stadium. How do you feel? As in, I think you said you feel nervous about this game.
Yeah, well, it's just that the Patriots are having a bit of like a comeback season.
Yeah, big time.
They are so well, like, shockingly, this season. I never would expect that to have happened at the start of the season, if you know what I mean. But I am interested to see, because I think coming off the bye as well, like, the players are well rested. Like, we needed a bye. Like, like when we were watching the Saints game, I was like, please no one get hurt. I was like, this isn't what we need. But I think that everyone there needed a bye week. I did think Bucky would be back, but I don't. It's looking likely. And Chris Godwin, obviously. Chris Godwin, he's not looking. I think we both said that he hasn't been in practice, and neither has Bucky. But those are the only two that I've seen on Twitter that haven't practiced. So it could be a better game for injuries. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm excited as well, because obviously Bucks are back.
Of course. Guitar, who would you call for this game? Who do you reckon? Would you take the Bucks or the Patriots on this?
This is probably one of the games to watch of the week, I think. So it's a bit of a difficult one. Patriots coming up, they're having a great season. They just beat us, obviously, by a point. Their offense is looking pretty good. But I wouldn't be surprised with the Buccaneers. I think they're a boss of a team. They've got great players, and obviously we're a massive fan of the wide receiver room with like Booker in there. Um, I won't be surprised if it's another clutch game. It'll come down to the fourth quarter. I'm slightly edging towards the Buccaneers to win this one, just because it's a home advantage. The players, the players are fresher from a bye week, and I think it was a good time for a bye week as well. I think maybe a little bit late, but I've said a few weeks ago the Falcons were one of the first teams to have a bye week, and I was in week 5, and I think I was too early for a bye week. I think you need to build that momentum, like the Bucks have done, and quite a few other teams have done as well. I think you need a good few weeks before you enter bye week. So we had a bye week at the wrong time. You probably had a bye week at probably the best time, really.
Perfect.
So yeah, I am edging towards a Buccaneers win on this one, just about. Would you agree?
Yeah, me too, 100%. I especially them like you said, coming off a bye, being at home. I honestly, from seeing how Drake London managed to absolutely dominate that back line of the Patriots. I can just see Ibuka just going off in this game, and more than anything, Christie, I trust the Tampa defense in this game as well. I have to. Yeah, for me, Drake probably had one of his worst games against the Falcons. I thought because he threw 2 interceptions, I think, and another big thing as well is I think that the Bucks are going to be able to stop the run as well. So if they do that, I don't think that Drake May, although like I said, he's brilliant off the cuff. I don't think that the Patriots have enough at wide receiver. Keishon Buri, who was injured actually, he came off against the Falcons. So you've got Steph Diggs. I'm not sure if they've got enough weaponry. So I genuinely think that I think the Tampa defense are gonna bring you home this Saturday. So yeah, absolutely. So there we are, clean sweep. The Bucks are gonna win. Clearly, fantastic. There we are.
Not gonna.
No. So that was one of our 5 of the week, Guitar. Bring me another one. What's one of your 5 weeks?
Should we talk about? Do you want to go with Falcons first, or do you want to go with the Dolphins first?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Let's not talk about the Dolphins. Let's go with the Falcons. Let's not waste people's time here. Let's go with the Falcons. Absolutely, because coming off a really tough loss. Penix being back. Penix looked good overall, Gito, I thought.
Yeah. One problem I had with the game last week, they didn't use Bijan Robinson enough. Now, Bijan Robinson being your best player on offense, best player in his position in the league, top 3 at least. Why didn't they use him? I don't know. I know the Colts have gone and signed Sauce Gardner, and we're playing in Berlin, so we're going to have to step up in this game. I don't see us getting the win. I am slightly nervous about this one. I don't think confidence is well at the moment. I think there's too many bit of backstage politics going on that's going around the minds of the players as well. The fans are very unhappy, and rightly so. The kicking situation's making people nervous every time. So, yeah, I don't see us getting a win in this one. This is going to be a tough game against the Colts. The Colts coming from a loss. They lost to... who did they lose to? The Steelers on the weekend. Only their 3rd loss of the season. But I do think the Colts, being the designated home team for this one, although it's an international game, but I see the Colts, unfortunately, winning this one. I want to say a Falcons win, but I'm just trying to be a bit realistic here, to be honest. I'm going to go with the Colts. But if you guys disagree, then go ahead.
Is it a Colts home game or is it a Falcons home game?
A Colts home game.
Oh. Never mind.
Yeah.
However, Christie, the only thing that I'll say about that is...
although the Falcons do have a good following in Germany. They have like one of the biggest following in Germany, so it's going to feel like a Falcons home game probably. But yeah, I adjust.
Yeah.
Well, I remember going to the Munich game for the Bucks, the first Munich game, and that was the BUCS home game.
Yeah.
But the crowd of the Seahawks was insane.
Really?
It was like, I remember my dad even saying it almost felt like don't get me wrong, there were so many BUCS fans. It was like, it was just a really good mixture, even though it should have just been like BUCS home game, but there was just, anyone who supported NFL was there, but there was also a large following of Seahawks. It was, the crowd was literally so loud.
Yeah. See, so you went to the Munich game. I went to the Frankfurt game in 2023. So I went with my dad. Yeah, I went with my dad. So my dad's a Chiefs fan, and obviously, so the Chiefs played the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So we thought perfect opportunity. It was actually when we were good. So it was actually a decent matchup. I think both teams coming into that game were like something like 6-2, something like that. So it was genuinely a really good matchup at the time. It was a designated Chiefs home game, and you could definitely tell that it was a Chiefs game because they were coming off their double Super Bowl win, and you could see, like you said, although you've got a lot of neutrals, the neutrals tended to turn to the Chiefs instead of the Dolphins. Do you know what? It was an amazing experience, the best experience of my life. And they had Frankfurt has a big river right through the city, so the Chiefs even brought a Chiefs boat, and they parked it along the river where you could go onto the boat, and they were selling merchandise and things like that. So they went hard, big time. There was a Dolphins bar that we went to, but it was overwhelmingly a Chiefs game. It was a really close game in the end. The Dolphins lost 21-14. But the point that I'm trying to get to is anything can happen in international games. Anything can happen. And the only thing that I'll say, Gito, is I think this might be a Bijan bounce back game. I think you'll run the ball a lot more. And with Drake London coming off an incredible 3-touchdown game, honestly, I know that the Colts should be the dominant team, but if you this is what happens. If the Falcons run the ball successfully, you tend to win. So I think if you get back to that mantra, I think you've got a good chance of winning in Germany. Myself.
Okay. So we're 1-1 at the moment then. Christie, you could give us the deciding vote. Are you going to go for the Falcons or the Colts?
I am going to. I don't want to like crush your vibe about it.
It's okay.
But I just think if you're looking at like the season, I would definitely pick Colts over.
Okay.
That's fair enough. No hate here. No hate. But there we go. Yeah, we'll go. So the Colts will slightly edge this one. So we'll put the Colts down for this one.
Fair enough.
Are we doing Bills and Dolphins for 5 of the week?
Yeah, let's talk about it quickly. I mean, there's no. I was going to say, like, it's a Dolphins home game. We literally coming off an embarrassing loss Thursday Night Football against the Baltimore Ravens. That's when Lamar came back, by the way, and he scored 4 touchdowns on his return. First half, I stayed up and watched it. First half, the Dolphins were the better team. We outscored them. We outscored them by like 100 yards, 150 yards of offense in the first. But unfortunately, we missed the field goal and too many penalties, and second half went to hell. So anyway, but sums it up about the Dolphins season. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. I have absolutely zero confidence that the Dolphins are going to win this game against the Bills. There's a running joke, by the way, that in Dolphins land, Josh Allen is our daddy, as they say. So every time he comes to play in Miami, he's only lost once against the Dolphins. So we call him our daddy because he tends to come and he slaps us around basically, and he always wins. So sorry about that, but there we are. So literally, I had, like I said, I think I've had to kind of like distance my heart from the Dolphins this year, and I'm gonna still watch them. and I'm going to watch what's happening because we've just fired our GM last week following the game. By the way, we've been told that Mike McDaniel, our head coach, is staying till the end of the season. But there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of changes. We traded Jalen Phillips to the Eagles last week as well. So yeah, I'm just going to watch, look back, and observe because obviously, I mean, I'm a massive Tua fan, and I genuinely don't think he's going to be there next year. I think we're going to go for a full rebuild, almost as hard as the Jets, but without the first round picks, obviously. So put me down as a Bills win for this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the Bills as well. I'll do Bills as well, definitely. So, yeah.
Fair.
Rams and 49ers, 9:30 on Sunday.
Nice. Saucy.
That's going to be a good game. That's a saucy game. That's saucy. 49ers are home. I believe the 49ers won the first game, didn't they? 49ers beat them.
Yes, they did. The Thursday Night Football, yeah, they did with Mac Jones.
I personally don't see them doing the double on this one. I do think the Rams are going to split the series. Being in San Francisco as well. But yeah, I'm picking the Rams win on this one.
For me, the Rams are rolling at the moment. Like you said, they looked amazing in London.
Yeah.
They absolutely battered the Jaguars. Looking really good. Devontae Adams, what a signing that's been, by the way.
Yeah.
Puka's back, and Devontae, like between them, the amount of touchdowns they're scoring, and I'm so glad for Matthew Stafford as well because I'm a massive fan of Matthew Stafford. I think he's such an underrated QB.
He is, yeah. He's had a really good few seasons as well. He's had a very good career as well. Obviously, traded with that story with the Lions being traded and everything, but it's worked out really well for him. And yeah, Devontae Adams, big fan of him as well. I think he's found his after the whole situation when he was at the Raiders, moving to the Jets. Now here doing really well at the Rams. I think it just shows that when you're at the right place, when you're at the right establishment and everything, it does make a lot of sense. It does say a lot about your performance and everything as well. It's not working out for the Jets with Justin Fields at the moment, so that's a good example where it's not working out. But yeah, Devontae Adams in the Rams is just clicking, and they've got a really good wide receiver room, so they are flying at the moment. I can see them going quite far as well in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Christie, what you got for this game?
What's the 40 record at the moment?
What's up? Quick. No. You're good. 6-2. 6-2.
6-2. Oh,
and what? Okay.
And the 49ers are 6-3.
Oh. Okay.
Bang.
Oh, that is a good little matchup then, isn't it? I'm going to be different, and I'm going to go for the 49ers, given that they have the home advantage. That's what I'll go with.
Yeah, it's almost like the last thing I say about that matchup is it's a strange matchup as well because the 49ers tend to be the Rams' bogey team. I don't know why, but they tend to kind of always like you said, like Ito said a couple of weeks ago. I think everyone put the Rams down, especially when Brock Purdy went down and Mac Jones was going to start. They were thinking Rams 20 point win, and then all of a sudden, Mac Jones went off. So did McCaffrey. Juwan Jennings as well went over 150 yards. Like you said, so I could definitely see San Francisco winning this one as well, 100%. But I think my heart kind of says the Rams have the momentum at the moment, and even though it's in San Francisco, I think, like you said, I think they'll split the series. So we've got a Rams win for that one. What's our next game?
Game number 5 of our 5 of the week. This, I believe, is going to be a bounce-back win, a much-needed one, considering they lost to the Vikings by 3 points on the weekend. The Detroit Lions, a very exceptional team. Lost to the Vikings, very surprised about that one, but they're going up against the Commanders in Washington. A Commanders team With no Jaden Daniel, he suffered a horrific injury. Unfortunately, he'll be out for the season. It was a graphic injury as well, so not for the faint-hearted there.
Horrible.
Oh, I did see the clip of it, and
Yeah,
I wish I didn't.
horrible.
That's right.
Horrible. But the Lions, they'll be needing a win in this one to establish themselves as a top team in the NFC to make themselves to go to the playoffs, which they missed out on the last 2 seasons. So yeah, a bounce back win for the Lions for me on this one.
Yeah. I was
go
really
Lions.
impressed. Sorry, Christie, go for it. Go for it.
No, I was just saying that I agree that I go with the Lions too.
Yeah.
You crack on.
I was really impressed by the Minnesota defense, I have to say, and how they managed to stifle that Detroit offense, because not a lot of people have been able to stop that Detroit offense over the last couple of years. So, and I have to say, JJ McCarthy coming off an injury as well. He's been out for what, 5 or 6 weeks? I thought he looked brave, brilliant coming off the injury, and I think it was just a really, really good game plan that they came up against Detroit. So, yeah, an expected victory, which makes the NFC North really interesting because the Packers lost against the Panthers as well. Like I said, the Panthers strike again. Like, what's going on there? They lost at Lambeau against the Panthers. So that division for me is kind of what I still think that Detroit are going to win the division. But yeah, it's just like it's a 3-horse race, isn't it? Because although Chicago's still doing right, I think all 4 teams in the North have got winning records, I believe. Yes, they do. So that is kind of so Detroit really, that loss against Minnesota, like I said, they'll be looking to bounce back, and like I said, absolutely clean slate. Detroit for me all the way, 100%. Brilliant. I think we've covered everything else. Christie, thank you so much for your time. Once again, it's lovely to have your company back. Tell us shortly. So you went to the game against the Jets. That was the block field goal, I believe. Was it that game?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
I think
it was. So
well, you know what? It's been such a blur.
Yeah.
Because there's been so much drama with field goals and everything.
Yeah. So you're going back to Tampa in December.
Yes, I'm going to see the next Saints game. I think it's on the 7th of December, but I come home just before they're playing in their creamsicles again on Thursday Night Football. I know, at home. And I just missed that, and I thought, why did I book my flights like that?
Fair.
I did try changing it, but it was very expensive, so.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so not long to go until I go and do that.
I noticed that you went to, so you kind of like did a Florida, like you went to Disney last time round. Are you going to go back to Disney again, or are you just going to go to Tampa?
I'm actually flying into Tampa, and then I am going to stay with my friend Jill.
Oh, cool.
Who is actually the social media girly for the Buccaneers.
Nice.
So I'm going to stay with her, and we're going to Disney for a day, obviously. And then I'm going to the game on the Sunday. I've got a tour of Raymond James booked on the Monday, through BUCS UK, and then I'm flying home Tuesday night. So I'm out on the Wednesday, back on the Tuesday.
Cool. So literally just under a week.
Literally just under a week.
Fair. That is dedication. Fair play.
I know, but I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't imagine. Obviously, I've yet to see an NFL game in America, and I'm sure, obviously, so I've seen one in London and I've seen one in Germany. So I'm slowly getting there, but I'm sure the atmosphere, especially at a home game, is something outside of anything that you've ever experienced.
Well, the first NFL game I saw in general was a London game, which was Dolphins versus someone. God, this was in 2021, so I can't remember. But it was a Dolphins game because I remember
Jaguars.
Yes, Jag, probably.
Mm.
My mum, she doesn't know anything about NFL.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously being a Bucks fan, we were all wearing Bucks jerseys. Even my mum, she had my Gronkowski one on because
Okay.
she just wanted to fit in. And we were at the front, and she went, "So is Brady playing here
Oh.
today?" And I went, "No, it's Tua." And she went, "Who the heck is Tua?" Because she only knew Brady.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And me and my dad were just like, "No, he plays for us, man." Like,
Oh, fair.
but that was my first experience of an NFL game, and that was amazing. Then it was, my first American one was in the SoFi Stadium,
Okay.
seeing the Rams versus what was it? No, the Chargers versus the Jags.
Okay.
Because it just so happened when I was there,
Yeah.
like in California, there was a game, and I was like, "Well, I've got to go and see that."
Of course.
But yeah, the Bucks with the cannons, the atmosphere, and
Yeah.
every time I've gone there, I've always been sat by lovely people.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
know, you see other things up in the highest stand, but I've always been by nice people. So, but yeah, just the atmosphere. It's such an incredible stadium.
Yeah.
Like literally, so I love it. It's very hot though. That's the only thing I'd
Yes.
say.
Very humid.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Me and Yayan both burnt our knees last time.
Oh,
so-
no.
I know. We weren't very well prepared, but
Paid.
yeah.
Yeah. And
But no.
and for those who don't know you as well, you've been in the stands at Raymond James, but you've also been on the pitch because you were flag bearer as well. Wild.
I know. And what's so good is that if I see the people I was flag running with, I'll message them on Instagram or something, and I'll be like, "I can see you," and then they've come over and seen me.
Oh, nice.
So everyone was so lovely there. But I can't actually believe that happened, to be honest.
Amazing. Oh, class. Well, we'll have to excuse me. We'll have to have you back after your second Tampa trip, before the end of the regular season, going into the playoffs, because I mean, hey, it's looking good for the Bucks in 2025 at the moment, and I'm sure, like Gito, I've pulled up the fixtures as well. I personally only see 2-3 losses in the rest of which would kind of that would leave you at. What would that be? 11-6, 12-5 potentially.
11.
Yeah, 11-6, 12-5. So yeah, that's definitely going to win the division, 100%. Where's that going to rank you in the NFC? I don't know, but so yeah, so we'll definitely have to have you back if that's all right with you. Yeah, fantastic, amazing. Well, send your regards to your fiance. I see that you're hang on, just before you go. So you're a Swansea girl, and he's a Cardiff boy, is he?
He's from Pontypool, so
Right.
but he actually works for Cardiff City as well. That's
Well,
the thing.
my goodness me.
I know. I honestly, when I brought him home, good God, because he also likes Liverpool, and my dad's a Man United fan.
Oh, you couldn't have got worse.
When when he came here for the first time, my dad came downstairs wearing a Swan shirt, then took that off, was wearing a Man United shirt.
Nice.
Took that off, was wearing an Osprey shirt.
Fair.
Took that off, and then he was that shirt.
Oh, fair play.
And he was just like, "These are my teams, by the way."
Well played. Well played.
But yeah, I can just make fun though, because we're in a higher league. I don't care about that kind of football in any sense. But I always just say, well, at least we're not in League One.
True.
Oh,
True.
okay.
True.
Yeah.
Let's end it there, shall we?
Maybe we'll end
I was going to say that's the end of that. Before, yeah, fantastic.
You're
Christie's
like,
been...
maybe we won't have you back.
And I thought we were having a
No,
good chat as
absolutely.
well.
No, we'd love to have you back. Fantastic. Amazing. Christy, thank you so much. I know it's been an extended episode this week, but honestly, it's been a joy, and it's fantastic to have you on us. Thank you so much for your time. And like I said, enjoy your trip
Thank you.
again back to Florida, and we'll see you shortly, hopefully before the end of the regular season, to see where the Bucks are at by then. And hopefully you'll have your boy, you'll have Mike back, you'll have Chris Godwin back, you'll have Bucky Irvin back. Emeka Ibuka is probably one rookie of the year, and you're flying, hopefully.
Oh, gorgeous. Exactly what I want to see.
Fab. Amazing. Fantastic. Brilliant. So this episode is going to be posted. Our pleasure. It's going to be posted very, very shortly. Follow us on the socials. Gito, just before we finish, should we remind the listeners that our name on the socials has changed over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, just a slight change to our social handles. So we're still going to be NFL Cymru. That's still the name of us. We've got the NFL Cymru podcast, which is on YouTube every week. The name of our socials now on social media, on Twitter/X, on Instagram, is Wales NFL.
Brilliant. Fantastic. We thought that would be easier, but there we are. Yeah, send us a comment. Please share if you've enjoyed this episode. And like I said, go back to watch our first episode with Christy as well, going back around 6 months ago. And it's a really, really good watch. Christy, thank you very much. Gitla, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your trip to Tampa. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of the NFL Cymru podcast. We will see you all next week. Diolch yn fawr iawn.